Hello, you guys. Welcome. This weird glare over here. Can I move this glare? I think I can. All right. We're back. We're going to give this another try. I tried earlier, and let's just say my internet did not love me. I said I was going to be back at 9, a little bit delayed, but we made it and we're here. And I will see who comes in. And if you are watching this and you're up currently prepping for a vendor market, or let's say next time you're prepping for a vendor market, maybe yet turn this on because listen, we're going to talk here. We're going to have a little conversation about vendor markets and falling into the trap of vendor markets and making that be your main source of way to get revenue. You don't want to fall into that trap. There are a lot of reasons why. We're going to go through quite a few of them. But my goal of this whole video is to show you that there are other ways for you to actually make money within your business. Oops, that's not falling off my chair. And using all the tools that we have available to us, internet, digital infrastructure, we're going to really dive into that. As you guys come on in the room, please let me know if you have any questions. We'll definitely address some of those towards the end. But my main goal here is to make sure you guys find viable ways to continue to build your business. I'm going to tell you a little quick story about Black Sunflower. That I started my business during the pandemic, so I had no choice but to use the internet. And so I never really relied heavily on markets. And I use markets as just another source of revenue when I want to get an influx because I do very well at markets, but it's not my main source of revenue. I don't depend on them. And I think, was it last year? I did a farmer's market. I've never finished my whole length of stay at any farmer's market. There are a lot of summers. I don't do many. I love strategic partnerships. I love working with particular businesses and setting a presence there. But let's go ahead and get started because it is getting a little bit late. I was hoping to do this earlier and I have a lot to do, but to get this information out there. So if you're a maker, if you're an artist, if you're a dreamer, a visionary, most of the ways we usually get our stuff out are at markets. And it's a lot of hours that you spend towards doing that. So, if you're watching this, you might be packing up, right? You go and set up your booth. You smile all day through the rain, the hot weather, and you're just praying that you at least break even, you guys. We've all been there. Like, I hope I just break even. And even though those markets can be really amazing for meeting people face to face, for a lot of us, it turns into a hit or miss. And I see it quite often where it turns into a hit or miss, and you kind of get stuck and there's not much room to grow when it comes to that. So let's be real about vendor markets. It's a grind and it's a trap because when you're relying only on physical markets for sales, it's going to make your business tough. First reason, it's a very limited reach. You are only open to the people who literally walk right past your booth, the people who walk past you. So I want you to ask yourself, are you comfortable with your business actually being trapped? Your business can't grow because of your physical presence. If you can't be there, your business is not going to grow. It's also a very huge drainer of time and energy, and it's physically demanding. Ask yourself, is the time spent efficiently when you're doing these markets, or are you constantly putting in more effort for inconsistent income? Because listen, when you do a market, it becomes a roller coaster. You cannot predict your income. You never know because your income depends on if they marketed it well. Did they market the event well, right? How many people are going to actually show up? Is it raining? Is it sunny? Is there a holiday? Is it a weekend when people are out of town? There are so many things that you have to take into effect or take into account. And especially when you start, you're desperate to find anything to go and set a table at that. And you have to be very particular because not all of these markets are good. And I'm pretty sure we've all experienced it. All right. But there are a lot of ways that you can help make the best of those situations. That is not this video. Maybe I'll do another one. If that's something you want, let me know in the comments and I'll make a video of how you can make the best of a not so good situation when you turn up at a market where things aren't turning around for you and your income. All right. Another thing, when you depend on vendor markets, it's really hard for you to scale. You can't scale, right? Because you can't be everywhere at once. Do you want your business's growth to depend on having to be at multiple places at the same time? right? Do you want to depend on then hiring people to be at these multiple places at the same time? Starting off, that's not always the case. You can't really do it, right? And then it's really hard to connect with customers after they leave. Once they leave your little perimeter, if you have not taken the initiative to get their information, getting that repeat business may not happen because people are used to seeing you there. And if you don't get people used to purchasing from you online, it makes things hard. So when you're at these markets, are you actually building lasting relationships, or are you just making a bunch of one-off sales? Bunch of one-off sales is usually the answer that I get. Not too many people actually take this time to build these long-term relationships. So if any of this sounds familiar to you, you are not alone, and it is a clear sign that it's time to build something way more important. And why should you even be listening to me? Right? My name is Jasmine, owner and founder of Black Sunflower. Started off as a camera company, but now we are so much more. All right. We are so much more because now I'm spending my time helping business owners like you create their dreams, make their dreams come true, make their businesses actually happen. That's what I want to do with the Black Sunflower Business Collective. I'm actually closing my business for a while so I can focus purely on that. That's what's very important to me right now. All right. So let's get going. Let's get into the nitty gritty, the good stuff. It's time to build. How do we build? What do we do? Something that when you put your effort into it, you get results in return. That would be your digital infrastructure. Now, you may have heard this word before, you may have not. Your digital infrastructure is basically the invisible online network, right? That kind of brings people to your space. It's been a long day. This one's actually kind of hard for me to get out. I did not plan to be doing this late, but I was like, I'm getting this done. So who knows? We might re-record it later. Okay. So having a digital infrastructure isn't just an Instagram page. It's a whole system that's integrated to help your business grow. You have to grab attention from people. You have to get them interested. You have to find a way for them to make sales, and you have to find a way to keep those people coming back all the time, right? Not just one time. Your digital infrastructure, your website is your 24/7 online storefront. So first, the first thing that you need. And this is where a lot of people make a mistake is when they start a business, they think, oh, I don't really need a website first, or I can just deal with people through DM, or they can find me on Instagram, right? Wrong, wrong. You need a website for so many reasons. One, you need a place that people can actually come by and purchase your items, right? This is your primary store. Whenever you can't be someplace, somebody can always shop it with you. Remember that. And when you're starting off, even before you have products, this is where people can learn more about what you're developing, what you're growing. This is more about where people can see that, oh, you're serious. Because especially if you are anything like me and you come up with new ideas all the time, sometimes people are like, is she serious this time? Yeah, I'm serious this time. And all the hundreds of other ideas I had as well. All right. So unlike social media, you actually own your website. That's yours. That's your presence. When people come to you and you capture those emails, those are now yours, right? You need to pull those customers off of Instagram, off of Facebook, off of TikTok, and bring them into your world so you can connect with them when you want to and when you need to. All right. Having a website makes your brand look, like I said, like a real thing. It's legitimate. It gives you full control over your message and what's being shown to the world. And when they receive that message, you don't get that with social media. Your post gets shown to whoever Instagram feels like showing it to you. You have no choice over that. Even if you spend more money and boost an ad, they still are in control, even though you're paying them. All right. It's a dedicated spot so people can see you, learn about your story, and buy the stuff that they want whenever they want. All right. A great website overall, it isn't just, how should we say, a brochure. It's an automated sales process. It handles all of the things, your inventory, your payment system, all the stuff that you do manually. You think you're doing this manually when you're at a market. You have to check the inventory. That's whether how much of stuff you're bringing, how much stuff you're selling. You're doing the physical checkout. You're putting the stuff in the bag now. When people purchase online, it's kind of separated. It's split up over time. So you're not doing all of that stuff at once. But your website is where people will find you. Think of it like it's like a museum for your business. I won't say museum because that means it's old and dead. We're not going to use museum. That wasn't a good analogy, but it's where people can come and see everything that you have going on. But within that digital infrastructure, you also need a way for people to communicate with you. You need to find a way, or it will give a way for people to actually not only communicate with you, understand what you have going on, what sales are happening, where to find you, so you can actually make even more out of your markets, letting them know, right? So your email list is gold. And I used to flop with email lists. I did a really good job making sales, but sometimes I think if I would have used my email list like I should have, oh Lord, sweet baby Jesus, it would have been beautiful. For years, honestly, and I think it's on my upflip video. If you haven't seen it, a lot of you are here because that's the video you've seen, right? Um, that particular video, or not that particular video, in that video, I stated that I don't really use my email list because I didn't want to bother people. I had to learn to get over that because I don't know why I was afraid to have people unsubscribe, like I did something wrong. I realized I just unsubscribe because I just don't feel like seeing it. And there's times I'll go back and resubscribe for things because I was like, I actually do want to see it now. But your email list is your most valuable tool. That's how people are going to know what you're doing, how you're having a sale. When you put a message out there, they are going to get it. Social media is controlled by the algorithms. It's going to decide who sees your post, when they see your post, because you could post a sale and somebody sees it 3 days after you post it for the first time, right? It gives you a direct way to find your most interested customers and provide them with the things that they're actually interested in because you can see what they purchased. You can create tags and put categories for these different customers. So next time you have a sale on a particular candle, you know you're going to reach out to a particular set of customers first, right? Are you guys tracking here? Are you guys with me? If you're watching the replay, thank you very much. Stay tuned because we have a lot more that we're going to go through and dive into today. So when you're running specials, when you're sharing behind the scenes highlights of what's going on, it's like your little secret society. This is how you actually build long lasting relationships. There are a lot of different tools out there that you can use. We'll go over a lot of the tools towards the end of this. So you can get a better idea. Even if you don't have a website right now, right? And you're like, well, I can't afford a website. But you want to get your message out there. Do you know you can start building your email list right now for free? For free. The easiest way is Google Forms, you guys. Create a Google form, create a QR code. You know what? I'm starting my business, and maybe you have some samples and you had somebody smell it. Go, oh my God, this is so great. When are you opening? Do you have a website? No, I don't have it yet. But if you join my email list, I'm having a big sale when I get started. You guys see how simple that is? Instead of waiting to the last minute to start a website, now you're starting after you spent all of this time building your brand. Now you're going to launch the website. One of the reasons a lot of people fail is because we put so much heart, time, and energy into this, and we launch and we hear crickets. That's because we did not set ourselves up for success from the beginning. We did not start by finding customers. You spent all this money on the building. We're going to call it a building. You've painted the walls, you changed the floors, I don't know, hung up pictures, whatever. I'm not a decorator, actually. So you did all the nice things, right? But now you have nobody coming to your doors because you didn't even let them know. You tried. You'd say, oh, I posted once on Instagram, but nobody showed up. Probably because nobody even really saw it. You ever think about that? A lot of times it's not that they weren't interested. They didn't see it. So that's why you have to pull them off. The first two things you need a website. And after the website, you also need an email list. If you don't have a website yet and you just want to start with the email list, please just start with the email list. Today, right now, if you do not have an email list wherever you're at, that is the first thing I want you to do. When you're done watching this video or while you're listening to me, go to Google Forms right now and create yourself an email list. Even if you have a website, but you don't have an email list because you don't want to pay for anything right now, start an email list. That is something you can do right now to make it so that you're not a slave to these vendor markets. Okay. Now, social media. We just kind of talked bad about social media, but it does have its goods, right? Having a presence on social media Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest is one that I really cannot wait till I have time to actually utilize more, because it is a gold mine. It's great to get discovered, but it should not be your only place online. You're supposed to use social media to show off your products. I like to think of it as a digital coffee table. It's a beautiful coffee table. Have you ever purchased anything off of a coffee table? I know I've never purchased anything off a coffee table book ever, but they're pretty to look at. And in certain places, I will pick up the same coffee table book 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times, and I will never purchase anything from it. But I know it's there. I can recognize it, right? And by showing off your products and being able to talk with your potential customers, this is how you start building that community. And most importantly, your social media directs people back to what? Your website and your email list. One of the things that I see a lot, and as I build out the collective, I'm changing a lot of the courses and the things that I teach because, when you know better, you do better, and times change. We always say link in bio, visit my website, right? I think even before link in bio, visit my website, we need to get these people on our email list. You need to get them on your email list because how many times do they go to your website? They don't buy anything the first time. I know I don't buy anything the first time I see something. I just don't. And if you have before, more kudos to you. I have to see things so many times. Excuse me. I have to see things so many times before I actually purchase it. And then a lot of times when I'm about to purchase it, if my card is not in my vicinity, I'm still not going to purchase it. So your social media is used to send people back to your website, send people back to your email list. It's like a big billboard. It's a saying, hey, my shop is here. And you can't have to stop trying to get likes. Like likes, they're cute and all, but likes really don't mean a lot. Are they turning your followers into visitors of your website? Is your Instagram feed turning your visitors of your Instagram into visitors of your website? Are they turning into email subscribers? So likes are cute, but I'm not even gonna lie, I'm a lurker. And I don't purposely lurk. I just, it takes a lot for me. That extra double tap is a lot of work sometimes. And I'm just scrolling. But if it's something that I really like, you know what I'll do? I'll open it up in a browser and I will save it. All right. I'll save it. So it's there. I have a bookmark of all the cool things that I like. So I don't just bookmark it on Instagram because I'll never come back to it, but I will save it. You have to make sure that you're creating and chasing the right thing, chasing likes. That's I don't care about likes, you guys. Likes aren't my thing. You know what's so funny? I made a post actually today. There are not that many likes on it, but I've gotten a lot of sales from it. I have. And that's what I'm looking for. I don't care about the likes. Stop chasing the wrong thing. All right. So we have talked about 3 things so far, 3 ways that you're going to stop depending on vendor markets. You're going to start by making sure you have a website. We're going to start by making sure you have an email list, someplace to capture those emails so you can talk to your customers and turn them into your customers and not continuously allow social media platforms to control how and when you speak to the people who want your stuff or you want to buy your stuff. Number 3, you're using social media as a platform to drive people back to your website and your email list. You want them to purchase or subscribe. I hear it all the time. People get mad. Oh, I have so many visitors, but nobody's buying anything. Okay. Well, did you at least get them on your email list? And if you didn't get anybody on your email list, we're going to talk about that. Actually, we'll break down each one of these steps into something deeper, but I'm going to give you this one tip right now. For me to put my email address in any email form, I need a minimum of 20%. I don't, or it has to be something I really want. I am not giving you my email address for 5% off. I'm not giving you my email address for 10% off. I'm not giving anybody my email address for a downloadable PDF. If it's not something that is going to give me direct value right now, I am not downloading it. So think about this. When you're trying to get people to subscribe to your email list, make sure it's something of value, especially if you're not directly connecting with them. A lot of times you just speak to somebody. It's easy to say, hey, you should join my email list, and they're going to do it. Very rarely do they tell you no in person, okay? The next thing we have is content marketing. This means creating helpful, meaningful, interesting stuff. Just like I was saying about getting somebody to subscribe to your email list, you want to make sure that it's something worthwhile. I'm not giving my email address for 10% off. I'll pay for it. That's fine. I don't want something else I have to unsubscribe from. One thing that I don't even say feel, I know is very important, and we don't talk about it enough. Blog posts, you guys. Blog posts, YouTube tutorials, how-to guides, fun videos, content. Your content should be about serving your community. If you know what your brand is and you know what your purpose is, you know your why, you know what problem you're solving, then you continue to make content around solving that problem for your target audience. You have to become a authority in whatever you're doing, whatever you're serving. If it's relaxation, you're writing the 10 best ways to relax on a rainy day blogs, right? If you're in, because I know Pam's going to watch this later, I'm going to say, if you're in Memphis, Tennessee, and you want to know the top 5 spas in Memphis, Tennessee, why? All of those things that you search in Google, best places to eat. A lot of times when you get those articles, those are people's blogs. Then you're on their website, and it's usually an affiliate link or something else that you'll see. Oh, they know where to find the best restaurants. Oh, they also know this. I'm going to stay on their page longer. Providing content. It can't always be about selling. You can't always sell to people. Content marketing helps people see you as an expert in whatever you do, and it allows them to get answers to questions that they might have. So when I say you have to start with service, I would say most of your posts, a majority of your posts should be about your product, helping people and how it helps them. That's what most of it should be about. There's certain brands, yes, you see that they just post pictures of their products here and there with no really content behind it. But you growing as a small business, because there are so many other people that are vying for your customers' attention, you want to make sure that you are asserting yourself into a position that people know you as the expert in whatever field. That's how you boost your visibility, okay? That's how you boost your visibility in search engines. That's how you attract organic traffic to your website with those blog posts, with those how-to videos, with the guides. You guys, YouTube is it. That's why I'm doing this video now. Because when you search stuff, what are some of the top search results that come up? They are YouTube videos. I'm solving a problem. Okay? All right. Consistent good quality content is what builds trust. Is how you turn those curious people who are just looky-loos, right, into loyal customers. And it's not going to happen overnight. So that's why you have to stay consistent and do these things. And you can't always just say, oh, sale here, sale there, sale there. And the content, you may be thinking, well, I don't know what I'm an expert in, right? A lot of times it's just showing the process, showing behind the scenes, showing how you've gotten to this place. Because somebody else may be watching you and like, man, I want to start a candle business, or I want to do what she's doing. Just showing the content. And what's beautiful right now is the average everyday person is winning. Everyone's so tired of the scripted, the perfect, right? I'm trying to see some brown baseboards and brown cabinets. I'm trying to see some white stoves. I got white stove, white fridge, brown baseboards, brown cabinets. Like, just keep it real. People love the authenticity. Don't try to be something you're not, because I promise you it's hard to keep up with. It's going to be hard. All right. The last thing that I'm going to talk about is something that you may have heard of, but most people don't really know much about. And it's something that is so important to building your visibility online. It's called SEO, search engine optimization. And it's all about making it easy for people to find you when they're searching for stuff on Google and other platforms. This is how we're going to stop being dependent on markets. We're going to learn to get found, or know how to get found online. And it's not about paying for ads. Years ago, I used to talk about that all the time. Instagram ads, Facebook ads. I would not recommend ads at this time for any small business, new business, because a lot of the bigger companies are eating up a lot of those dollars. And the amount of money that you can spend into Instagram ads for hopefully getting people just to show up on your page or possibly click on your stuff, you could be spending towards ways that actually made you money. So if I could told you that you're playing blackjack, but each time I'm going to let you know whether that next card is the winning hand or not. Like, yeah, I want that. That's what I want. I want somebody to give me the answers. I'm gonna answer your question after I'm finished. Just let you know, I'm not ignoring you. All right, I'm almost done. So, not paying for ads. When you decide not to pay for your ads, you're probably like, okay, well, how do I get people to my site? You have to optimize your website so your content can organically rank higher on the platform. Google, we always hear about algorithms on social media and all the other stuff. Google actually gives us all the tools that we need in order to help elevate us. There's something called Google Ads, right? There's Google Search Console. All of this stuff is free to sign up for. Google has its own courses, and a lot of those courses are free, but you can learn to implement these things on your own. There's Google, I said Google Analytics, there's Google Tags, Google Search Console, and I'm forgetting the other one. There's 4. It's like the whole group of Google superheroes. Okay, Search Console will help you identify problems when you're searching your website, right? There are things out there that will help you. There are programs. One's is losing my head. There's one called SEMrush. SEMrush is one, right? You can use that to search keywords within your field and your industry, and you're making sure those keywords are on your website so you're found. So when Google's scanning everything, somebody search the best candles in Miami, Florida. Google is searching through everything else, looking for everyone that says candles in Miami, Florida. And you get ranked higher based upon certain points. There's a lot of different things that go into it. But the main thing I want to tell you is that it's paying for ads isn't the first place I want to go. Because if you have a good SEO strategy, that means more people will find your business naturally without paying a bunch of extra money. And this right here is what's going to get you that long-term sustainable growth. And in the end, the big payoff is that you'll break free from the grind of, hopefully you're still not setting up for a vendor market right now, right? But you're getting things together, and hopefully you'll move towards being closer to not depending on this. So like I said earlier, one of the things I want you to do right now, if you have not done it and you don't have an email list, I want you to go to Google Forms and create one right now, especially if you have a market tomorrow. And your goal is every single person that purchases from you, you need to get an email address. Get an email address. Like, you are going to love this product. And I want to make sure that you don't miss out on my next sale. Join my email list. Would you mind joining my email list? Just ask. The worst they can tell you no is no. And if they don't tell you, if they tell you no, so what? Who cares? And if they tell you yes, well, that's one additional person that you can reach out to the next time you do not feel like going to a vendor market and you want to make sure that you get the word out there about what you're doing. So, how does building a digital infrastructure actually set you free? How does it make you escape from this grind? You have 24/7 global reach, not just local, not just natural, global reach. Your business isn't stuck at a market or stuck to a specific location. Your website is open all the time, and anyone that has internet access all across the world can get there. So once you ask yourself, how many more customers could you reach if your business was open 24/7, 365 across the world? And the funny thing is only going to hit this much of them. And just hitting this much of them is pretty much all most small businesses need right now. Because as much as we want to grow and serve everyone and have tons of sales coming in, we want to also make sure that the infrastructure of our business is set up to handle that, right? So when you have a lot of different online channels that people can find you, when your website is set up, when you are able to actually utilize your time in a way that is going towards building your business instead of standing at a booth all day where you don't have a predictable income, by setting these things up in your digital infrastructure, you then achieve a not only scalable, but a more predictable income. Your revenue streams are more predictable. And that's the other thing about markets. You may think that, oh, this product is the winner, right? And you go to another market and it's a completely different winner and nobody buys the one that you think. You'll have a more consistent flow of what's working and what's not working in your business. What else? I wanted to mention something else. It just slipped my mind. We said more predictable cash flow. Anyways, we'll skip on to the next part. All right. What would it feel like? What would it feel like to have consistent revenue in your business? Right? What would it feel like to have consistent revenue in your business? Even when you're not selling. To wake up every morning and look and you've made money while you're sleeping. That's what we're going for, you guys. I want to help get you guys there to making money while you're sleeping. When you're up, you're making the products, and you sleep, you're making the money, and not dragging things out to vendor fairs and markets, lugging them in. You'll save so much time, so much energy by having a digital infrastructure. And now with automation and AI, taking that to the next level. If you're watching now, if you're watching the replay, you're probably going to miss it. But July 9th, if you go to blacksunflowerbusinesscollective.com, I'm doing a Seattle Small Business Happy Hour. But it is also available online. You can watch it online. And it's about using AI and automation to generate more money in your business. How do we use the tools that are already given to us to generate more money so we can make money while we're sleeping? Doing the class for free. You can go online, blacksunflowerbusinesscollective.com to join and watch. No strings attached. It's a free event. Costs nothing to sign up. Okay. And if you are in Seattle, make sure you join me in person because I'm actually doing it at the Amazon Web Services Skill Center. It's like a museum for AI. It's so cool. They're opening up their brand new location and I get to have one of the first events there. I'm so happy. I need to talk about more. I'm going to do a live on that tomorrow. We're going to talk just about that, but I digress. Okay. We want to talk about the automation of just taking payments, of answering common questions. Marcus, do you guys ever get tired of answering the same question over and over again? You can set up an automation to do that online, right? An online store is freeing you for just trading your hours for dollars. We want to start building assets that make money when you are not working. Because we all started this entrepreneurship thing to have more time, but I'm pretty sure you may not be getting the extra time that you thought you would have. And what could you do with that extra time? Tell me, what could you do with that extra time and that extra energy? If your sales processes were more automated, when people were actually buying stuff and you had consistent income coming in, because now you have a consistent email flow going out, you're nurturing your community, you're serving your community, you're providing valuable information. I mentioned this a little bit before, but we're going to dive into it more. You get a deeper understanding of your customers' insights, your website, your email. It gives you a very valuable tool that gives you information on what your customers actually do, what they buy, what they don't buy, what they like, what type of emails do they open? Are they actually purchasing things from these emails? Maybe they like the pretty colors and the animated emails, or maybe they just like plain text emails. You can see all of that and you can find what works and you can refine it. When you're going to different markets all the time, it's hard to refine a process because even though you have your target audience, you know your demographic, there are times we end up at markets with people that don't really fit our profile. And then you're left twiddling your thumbs and leaving with an attitude because you didn't make back your vendor fee. Okay. So how much more effective would your business be if you truly understood what your customers wanted? You wouldn't be having a bunch of extra products on hand, right? You would know exactly what to buy, how much to buy, and why. Maybe you have a set number of customers who always buy a particular candle, I want to make some extra money today, right? So what am I going to do? I'm going to make a sale on this particular candle. I'm going to say strawberries with cream because that's my number one candle. I'm going to make a sale. I'm going to make sure I email those people who love the strawberries and whipped cream, and I'm going to make them a special message saying, I know you love strawberries and whipped cream. And guess what? I know we haven't had it in stock for a while, but I'm bringing it back just for you. I'm doing a flash sale. Next 24 hours, get 40% off strawberries and whipped cream because I think you deserve to have a candle that you love. If you got an email from that, I'm like, well, how's she know I like strawberries and whipped cream? Well, you brought like 15 of them in the past 3 months, so I'm assuming you like it, right? And most importantly, by setting up your digital infrastructure, you're building those stronger, lasting customer relationships. Like I just said, you have the opportunity to understand what they like, what they don't like. And you can double back around and show them that you actually are listening, that you're listening. All right. Your email list and your consistent content, those are two things that really allow you to continue to connect with people, allow you to continue to build loyalty. All right. And this is how you get them to buy from you again and again, by continuously building those relationships. Are you maximizing the lifetime value of your customers right now? If you're relying on vendor markets, you're not. You are not maximizing the lifetime value of your customers. Lifetime value is how much you will make off of an average customer. And the longer that lifetime value, the more that predictable revenue starts to grow. You can't maximize the lifetime value of your customers if you continuously go to markets all the time. Now, I'm not saying don't go. I'm not saying don't go. I'm saying that you go and makes you also have a digital infrastructure set up. So while you're there, you can capitalize on those people that are coming across your booth and you can move forward with building the relationships with them. So now you're not just a person at the booth anymore. You're an actual established, legitimate business with a consistent online income. So do you want to be a temporary booth or do you want to be a lasting brand? So if you've been holding back, I don't know if I want to do this, I'm not ready yet. I know, well, when are you going to be ready? When are you going to be ready? I mean, because if you enjoy lugging boxes of candles, and because we both know they're not light, spending your Friday nights preparing for a market, spending all day on a weekend at a market, come home tired and exhausted. Sometimes you made your money back, sometimes you didn't. Now you have your one day Sunday to do for yourself. A lot of times you're, depending on how your market is, either putting your stuff back, straightening up. Now you only have that one day left. Now, what if instead you got up Saturday morning, maybe did some content, made some candles, sent out an email, went about your day, check your phone. Oh, look, I got some sales. Now you've been playing with the kids. You've went on a walk for yourself. You maybe even worked out that day, went grocery shopping, and you're making money. Basically, the grocery shopping was free because by the time you walked at the grocery store, you made enough to pay for you made the groceries back and the candles that you sold. So I want you guys to stop stressing about your next event. I want you to have peace of mind. I want you to know that when you are out at those markets, that your website is constantly making sales. You're making sales in double time. You're bringing in new leads through your website. That's the power of a solid digital infrastructure. And it doesn't mean, like I said, you have to stop doing markets, but it definitely makes you way less dependent on them. And this is right here is what's going to give you the true definition of being a business and the true freedom of that. So I want you to start building right now, today, your online powerhouse. And I know it might seem like, oh my gosh, I don't know where to start. That sounds a lot. And yes, it's going to take some work. It's not going to happen overnight. But overall, it's an investment that pays off quickly, quickly. And you don't have to do everything at once. You just have to do one thing at a time. You just have to start smart. And what did I say right now? You're starting with that email list if you don't have one. And if you do have one, you may not be using it right. Every single person that you come across and you talk about your business, if you give out a sample, anything that you give out from your business, you need to get an email address in return. That is money. Email addresses. You have to start building that momentum. And so, first things first. First things first. You need your website. Pick an option that's easy for you, that fits your budget, but also something you're actually utilize. Something that you are going to be able to put together or have somebody do it for you. Pick something that fits in your budget. Whatever got me earlier. Still's getting me. Hold on. When you're building that website, you want to keep it simple. If you have 25 different fragrances, 3 different products for each thing, I need you to cut that down, sweetie. Cut it down. We'll talk about it in a whole nother lesson. But you need to focus on a handful of bestsellers. Beautiful photos, great descriptions. Make your checkout super simple. That's your foundation. All right. Next thing, think about some platforms that you have Shopify, you have Squarespace. I'm going to say those because I don't want to say, oh, just pick one, but the Backs of Our Business Collective, hands down, is the best. Of course, I'm going to say that. What's the next thing we're going to talk about? Emails. I've been saying it the whole time. Start grabbing those emails right now. Get that QR code, put it on your phone, make that QR code your screensaver. As soon as you're talking about, bam, scan this. Bam, scan this. All right? Maybe offer a discount code. Ask yourself, what value can you offer to get people excited for joining your email list? Ooh. All right? Start creating helpful content. We just asked, what value can you offer your customers or people to get them excited about joining your list? How are you going to serve them? I do see the questions. I'm going to get to you. I promise. And with that, just start creating helpful content. Just pick one thing. It doesn't have to be a whole list. It can be short, straight to the point. Maybe a quick Instagram reel showing how you make things. Literally just you making candles. Telling about yourself, telling about your business, introducing yourself to your customers or your potential customers. Why should I spend my money on you? Do a quick blog post each week, sharing a tip. People love the list. Compare, do local stuff. Here's a trick right here. If you want to start building your Google presence, right? Things that people in your local area will look for. If we're best spas, we take best spas wherever you're at. Best places to go relax. Best lakes or beaches or water to find peace and serenity. Make it up. Just provide the content. Provide the quality content. You're always aiming to give value. Oh my gosh. We're going to have to edit this live. All this coughing. We're going to edit this one. All right. Ask yourself, what type of content would my ideal customer find most entertaining? Excuse me. It's not, I need to take a break. Hold on. Let me ask these questions. We're going to have to edit this one. I was trying to hold it in because I didn't want to edit this video. Now I got to edit it. Show you guys a little tip with that. The reason I go live instead of just recording videos is because I'll never get the video recorded. If I just say, you're going to sit down at this time and record the video, it will never get done. I just have to go live and get it over with. You just have to do it. I preach it all the time. You have to do it. Do it scared. Do it messy. You just have to do it. You're getting value in between me having these coughing fits. All right. Keep an eye on what's working. Analyze Do your analytics. Like look at what your analytics are actually saying, what you should make, what you shouldn't make. You'll have analytics on your website, wherever you use your email platform, you're gonna have analytics there. Social media, they have analytics there. See what people are actually liking. If you do a particular post and people like that, do more posts like that. If you send out a particular email and more people open it, use that same type of subject line so more people open it. You'll be able to see where your traffic's actually coming from. Then you can hone in on that area. Little trick. Pick, this is why I love strategic partnerships, right? Do a strategic partnership. My first one was with the coffee shop. And then whenever you post, even though it's not your store, always make that coffee shop your location all the time. Because what happens is it's going to start serving your content all the time to those people. It's going to start when it starts serving your content to people who are not your followers, but they live in the vicinity of that coffee shop. When you then do a pop-up at that coffee shop, guess who's going to see that flyer? And guess who's going to come down because they've been seeing your content follow through? Just a little tidbit, just a little, and it works, you guys. Pick one place. And I'll be honest, it doesn't even have to really be a place that you frequent. Make it a park in the area if you want. Just pick a place and keep, whenever you're posting in the location, make it that location all the time. So it starts serving people in that area. What's another one? Oh, keep it on track. This is going to take some time. It's not all going to happen overnight. You're going to slowly, especially if you've been dependent on markets for so long, you're now running a business, you have a lot of things to do, and you may be overwhelmed with taking the step. We said the email list. If you don't have a website, get a website. If you have a website, we didn't go too far into it, make it sure it's a website that people actually want to stay on. People make a decision from the moment your hero image drops up, they take a few scrolls, they'll decide if they want to buy something from you or not based upon the layout, the quality of the pictures, all of that stuff. Does your website really speak to them? Are you committed to continuously building and improving your online presence over time? Are you? And if you're not, maybe this isn't for you right now. Business isn't for you if you're not committed to building it over time and slowly improving and just doing it messy. Just like me continuing this live when I was about to die on dust. So vendor markets, yes, I get it. They can be great. And it's an amazing starting point. But it's time for you to move to the next level if you want to be a real business. If you really want to get your business moving and going forward and actually scaling and getting that freedom that we all want as a business, you need to have a digital presence that works for you 24/7. Last question I'm going to ask you guys, then I'm going to get to the comments. What's the very first step that you are going to take this week to start building or boosting your digital infrastructure? So let me know in the comments. If you're live, let's talk this through. If you're watching the replay, put them in the comments below. And then also in the comments, you will find, I'm going to put it in the chat here, you will find a link. I have opened up my schedule next week for one-on-one consultations where we can sit down and figure out what your next step is. Because that's what I do. That's what I love. I love digital infrastructure. I love seeing where people are at. I love helping to get people pointed in the right direction. That is what I do. So let me go ahead and pull up this link right now. And then I am going to go ahead and open. There we go. I think I have to type in here. I'm going to answer the questions in the chat. Did you guys enjoy this live? Did you learn a lot from it? What's something that you learned? But most importantly, I want to hear, what are you going to implement next? What are you going to implement in this next week? Working on an email list. Yes, Lady of Elegance. Working on an email list. Do you currently have an email list? Or will this be working on an email list from scratch? Some of you may be saying, she told me to do an email list, but she didn't tell me what to do with the email list. The video's coming. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. The video is coming. I don't want to give too much information at once because it'd be overwhelming. But then also we have a lot of amazing things that we're covering in the collective too. We have a open access community. Anybody can join. There are some great resources for you in there as well. Yes, give me some hearts. I love that. I saw a little heart go up there. Yes. I know all of you guys are probably busy because if you're anything like me, I am doing a million other things when I'm listening to YouTube or anything like that. Sorry, I'm getting the link real quick. Here we go. I should have had it ready earlier, but I was trying to rush to get to y'all because I said 9 o'clock. That's not the right one. That's a 15-minute call. I'm giving y'all 30 minutes. That was not the right link. Let's get the right link. There we go. There goes the right link right here. We'll move this around and we're going to get to these questions. All right, there goes the link in the chat. I opened up my calendar. I only do my calendar 3 days at a time because I have so much going on. So make sure you book. And if you happen to not see something, check back the next day. So His Garden Natural Products and Mobile Salon. Ooh, natural products and mobile salon. I like it. Is it like haircuts or is it like full on braids, 20-inch bust down? What is it? If I know there won't be a lot of traffic at a vendor market event, either way, to make the best of it, I encourage people to sign my email list and give samples when I have some for exposure. Exactly. Another thing you could do too, if you have time on your hand, get content, you guys. Stop and say, hey, would you like to smell this and give me your opinion? Give me your opinion. And right there, do you mind if I record you? And because they gave you a yes and they provide some content, go ahead and give them a free something. Let's be real with it. The cost of you creating your candle does not, how should I say it? It wouldn't be a lot to use to acquire a customer. It wouldn't be. So let's say your candle even costs $10. It always costs something to get a customer. Customers are not free. I don't think we really think about that. Customers are not free. It costs to get customers. And because it costs to get customers, somebody just came to my booth. The day is slow. We recorded some content together. After we're done, thank you so much. Here, I want you to have this candle. Or whatever one, as you were talking and they showed interest in it, let them have it. Now you have content. You have content to use. You can chop that up and, hey, at my vendor market, you better be sitting there making content, not twiddling your thumbs. Now, don't be like this in your phone the whole time, right? Be active, be up. Step from around your table. I very rarely sit behind my table, very rarely. I'm always in the front. I'm always engaging. And it's not that, hey, you want to buy something. I'm like, hey, girl, I love those shoes. I love that hat. Or they'll walk by and like, oh, it smells good. I'm like, oh, you're scared? You don't want to come in and smell? I was like, I don't bite. Because I'm not going to force you to buy anything. I give away free smells over here. A little humor to it. Invite people in. Hello, I'm having a hard time getting into a market because they always say they already have candle vendors. That is a big one. That takes planning. And maybe you turn around and get strategic partnerships. I talk about that in the collective. Strategic partnerships is part of the foundation course. Finding a business, a place that you can call your home, that you can work with. We don't want to forget that there's a lot of small businesses around us, and all small businesses want exposure. So if you have the opportunity to work with somebody in the capacity of, hey, let me come in and maybe host an event here and there, set up my table, sell. I love the places. I love coffee shops because people have to wait for their drinks, right? So while they're waiting, they just come over and they start smelling candles and you get some sales like that. And then also when they already have candle vendors, that means you want to make sure your branding and everything is on point. So you're always top at the list. So even if they do have other candle vendors, now let me see, because they always say they already have candle vendors. That's interesting because a lot of the ones where I'm at, they do allow multiple candle vendors. They do. They do. And I'm for it because some people are going to like somebody else's stuff more than they like mine and vice versa. Thinking about changing my candle business name, Lady of Elegance Candles. All right, Lady of Elegance, I want you to join the collective. It's the free online community. Inside of there's the business brand readiness blueprint. It is a branding guide that was created by my publicist. She's one of the founding members inside of the collective. And when I say it'll help you refine your thoughts and refine who you're selling to, why you're selling to them, what problem you're solving, it'll really help you refine and help you decide if you should change your name. And if you change your name, what it should be changed to. I highly recommend anybody complete that list. I even redid it when I was rebuilding the collective. I went through and did the blueprint again because it was really important for me to understand what I'm really putting out here in the world. Working on emails, like we said, that one just started my candle business. Congratulations. Welcome. Welcome. You're in the right place. There's a lot of stuff here. I have a lot of videos here, as you just heard me say as well. We have the collective, which is the online free resource. We're in the middle. Tomorrow is our last day of our first boot camp, 7 days, last day of our first boot camp. And those ladies are killing it. The very last Saturday, we met for 6 hours. Did not seem like 6 hours, but we learned so much in those 6 hours. Then throughout the week, they had a exercise to do every day. And then we also had Q&A sessions. We had office hours so people were able to get help on stuff. But if that's something you're interested, the information is there as well. We have tons of ways. It's not just candle businesses, any sort of business, but a majority of the people in there are candle businesses. My candle making masterclass. I no longer teach my masterclass because I'm building the collective as a whole. I handed over my candle making masterclass to a graduate of my very first candle making class. His name is Logan. He was just in Cosmo, I think 2 weeks ago. He got his first Cosmopolitan feature, which is amazing. Then on top of that, he was voted best of Westchester, killing it. But what I love is because he doesn't have the high cost that I had associated with Black Sunflower. The candle making classes, if you just want to take the class and learn, it's only $49. I said, oh, you show off, Logan. You're making me look bad. No, I love it. And then if you want it with the kit, it's $99, and the kit comes through Sierra Candle. So you can go to, you can email contact@blksunflower.com. We can help you with that. Support@blacksunflower.com. You can come into the community and ask questions. There's so many ways that you guys can get answers, and we'll point you in the right direction. No, I don't have an email list, but I'm having a hard time getting into a market because they always tell me, oh yeah, you just said that before. I read that. What can you do about that? You have to plan in advance and look at other markets and not depend so much on markets. Maybe that's a sign that let's switch it up. Let's switch it up. And it can be done. And like I mentioned earlier, the strategic partnerships is a great one to do. Where do you live, Lady of Elegance? What city do you live in, if you mind sharing? Or you could just share the state or general area. And it'll kind of give me a good idea. Also, your city's Chamber of Commerce's. Your Chamber of Commerce, they always kind of they're in the know first when it comes to small businesses. There's a fee to join, a lot of them. And even though there's a fee to join, there's a lot of very valuable, useful information. You get access to a lot of things before it is presented to the public. My Chamber of Commerce just had a really big happy hour yesterday. I was sad I couldn't make it. It was yesterday evening, but they had a really great happy hour that had a bunch of small businesses, a lot of different opportunities for that. Also look into your local areas. There are a lot of technical assistant programs that sometimes they offer money, grants. And so like I did a program, I think it was a year or two ago, and they allow us to now vend at the fairs for a discounted rate. And it costs a lot to vend at fairs. And it's just there for that. NYC Candle Bar is your company name. Hey, Jeffrey, I love it. NYC Candle Bar. So do you actually have a candle bar right now? Or are you going towards that candle bar? Tell me about that. What time is it? I have about 10 more minutes. We can do about 10 more minutes. I'm glad I stopped choking on whatever I was choking on earlier so I could talk. But yeah, we have about 10 more minutes. I would love to answer some more questions. Also, like I said, if you're just joining us, in the chat, I'll pop it up again. There is a link. You can book a one-on-one consultation with me, and we can talk about your business, where you're at. I can answer any specific questions, and I can provide you with resources within the collective or not inside the collective. My goal is just to help point you in the right direction. OMK Candle. If I contact the market and they tell me they have enough candle vendors, I message them back and tell them to keep us in mind in case someone drops out. It lets them know you're interested. That's very smart. I love that as well. Yep. Definitely let them know to keep you in mind. And make sure that you're just, it can be, if you can feel defeated, like, oh man, another one just, there's a lot of people making candles, so that's why it really boils down to making sure your branding and your business is in line. These people also, when at these vendor markets, they also want businesses there that people are going to want to purchase from. So I'm going to say, yeah, in some of these things there's favoritism going on. There is favoritism. They gauge it. And I'm saying I've held markets before. My markets are a little bit different. I have a tendency, when I don't like something, I just create my own of it. Oh, I don't want to go out, you guys. We have to fix it. I can't have it burn uneven. I don't know if it's gonna work. Let's see. And so I like to balance it out between businesses that have a big following and also businesses that have little to no following. Because my goal is to definitely get them. Yeah, it's not gonna work. My goal is to get everyone exposure within it, but then also the businesses that do have big following, they help me to bring more people in as well. I go hard. When I held my vendor markets, I put a whole lot of time and a whole lot of money making sure that people show up. That was like what I would lose sleep over. I guess that's why I don't do vendor markets as much anymore, because I would lose so much sleep over making sure that enough people show up so that these vendors make money. I think it was probably my fourth vendor event that I did in downtown Seattle. It was in 2022. It was, yeah, I think it was 2022 or 2023. I don't remember. 2020, yeah, I think it was 2022. This particular market blew me away. I had about half the vendors sell out. Food vendors sold out. My CMOS person sold out. There's somebody selling like hats sold out. And this candle person, she didn't sell out, but she sold most of the stuff. Somebody was selling just body sprays, sold out. We ended up having over 250 people show up. It was I called it, which one was it? What did I call it? It was the candle bar experience. That's what I call it. It was the candle bar experience. We had a DJ. People, they came in, they can make candles, and while the candles were curing, they can go and shop and party. We had music, we had a DJ, we had so much food. But hosting vendor events, it can be hard, and finding vendors who actually have your best interest in mind is very important. Never hesitate to ask for the demographics. Like, what are the demographics of your audience? See if they've done a market before. If they haven't done a vendor market before, ask them, how are you guys marketing this? If you're on Instagram and you don't see them marketing this particular event, that's a red flag. I have a family member that wants me to make candles for their store under their brand. The thing is, they want to buy my supplies for me and make the candles. They said they would do a meet the maker. Okay. So the thing is, they want to buy my supplies for me and make the candles. So they want you to make the candles for their store under their brand. So are they making the candles, or are you making the candles? So are they buying all the supplies and then you're making the candles? Your company will get exposure. Is that a good deal? I want to make sure I'm answering this correctly. They want basically to just use your brand. Okay. And they make all the stuff. I would think how should I say it? It's your brand and their store. And I know it's a family member, but I'm just going to be honest. Is their brand something that you want your business associated with? Oh, the other way around. You make the candles. Okay. Jerry, do a consultation. Let's talk because there's a few other questions that I want to ask you as well. I have a family member that wants me to. I need to wear my glasses. I'm not dumb, you guys. I just can't see right now. I have my glasses on. Where's it itty bitty and fuzzy? I have a family member that wants me to make candles for their store under their brand. So the labels will be yours or theirs, Jerry. Will the labels be your labels or their labels? The thing is, they want to buy my supplies for me. So they're going to buy your supplies. Okay, it'll be their label. Okay, so it's called white labeling. Yeah, do it. Do it. Just make sure you have insurance. Make sure you have candle insurance. That's what I do. Make sure you have candle insurance. That's the only thing I would do. Now, what I would do as well, make sure, and you said they're buying the supply. So basically, you're just paying for the labor. That's all they're doing is paying for the labor of it. So decide what your hourly rate is. What do you define your hourly? Oh, you make no money. So you're just working for free. You don't work for free, Jerry. You don't work for free. Mm-mm. I guess it depends on how big their store is. Is it like, I don't know, Sephora? Is it a big store? Because listen here, Jerry, you know what you also could do? You could also get your own people somebody who will actually pay you to do that. Pretty sure if you sent out the right email to other boutiques, stores, spas, you can get people that will pay you. No, it's not a good deal, Jerry. How many do they want you to make? I don't like working for free. I just don't. You need to pay me something. You're going to pay me something. You're not going to pay me for because they're getting all the benefit. Because let's go back to if you don't have there's nothing that ties back to you. It's their label. It's nothing that ties back. And who's going to say they're even going, oh, that sounds like a scam. Sounds like they're scamming you. I don't know who this cousin is, but I don't know. Tell them to come visit me so I could tell them about. No, I don't like that. That's why I was like, hold on. I know I'm not hearing what I think I'm hearing. Yeah, no. Mm-mm. Thinking about adding more to my line. More to my line, I'm assuming. Cosmetic bags, book sleeves in order for me to get into a market. Is that a good idea? Oh, you're trying to go a roundabout way. Okay. Just at least pay for my labor. Exactly. Yes and no. One, I want you to not make stuff just so you can get into the market. You really want it to still be cohesive with your brand. You want to make sure that whatever you're making doesn't take away from the money you're making with the candles. Okay. And I'll ask you this: how many events have turned you down? Like, how many did you apply to, and how many turned you down? And be honest with this number for that. That's a big one, because what happens a lot of times as small business owners, and when we're starting businesses, we think 5 no's is the end of the world. It's not. 5 no's means I'm just getting started. You need to keep getting. You need to come back to me when you get 100 no's, and then we can talk. That means you just keep going. Especially if you're a high achieving person, you're used to getting these yeses, and all of a sudden they're like, no, can't work. You're like, what do you mean? You're like the 4th person to tell me no. Am I doing something wrong? You're not doing anything wrong. It's a big game out there. There are a lot of candle makers. 5 and all turn me down. That's okay. That's nothing. 5 is nothing. I guess 5. That is nothing. You keep trying. And how far in advance did you find them? That's the other thing. You need to research out right now. You should be researching for vendor markets for the holidays right now. That's how you have to get ahead of the game, because now you're waiting 3 weeks before submission closes. That's too late. 3 weeks before submission closes, you're too late. You should have already done it. So maybe your next step next week for you to get your win is to, I don't think this, I'm trying to get this lit. Your next week, I want you to look for vendor markets that are coming up in Christmas. That's what you should do. And list them all down. See if you can get at least a good 25 to 30. See if you can get that. And then reach out to all of those. Now, if all of those tell you no, They might be want to look at your products. What are you putting out there? What are they seeing? Because some places they tell you to show them a picture of your setup table, your booth. Some of it's how long you've been in business. Okay, that's a great tip. I'm starting on that now. Yeah, start a spreadsheet and list them all. Um, I have a lot of Instagram pages, and one of my Instagram pages is called Events by Black Sunflower. It's for when I used to do my events. But I have so many Instagram pages because they're all specifically curated. I in this particular one, I curate it for events. So whenever anyone of my friends or anyone needs to know something to do, and I scroll my timeline on my events page, I see vendor markets, I see concerts, I see parties. That's what comes up on that feed, and I did that intentionally. It took a while, but it happened, right? And I only follow people that host events, only follow people that host markets. Another one you might want to look at is maybe instead of doing a bunch of little events, look into a high quality event. I think it's Sip, Eat, Shop, or Sip and Shop. They do a bunch of them all over. Um, and there's another big one I can't think of off the bat right now. But think of quality. Yes, it might be higher cost to enter, but usually it's a higher cost to enter because one, they've been doing it for a while and they've already proven themselves that if you come in and you have a good product, a lot of them, if you just have a decent product, you're still going to get sales. So look into those. I think it's Sip Shop Eat, I think is the name of one of them. And then let me see if I can find the other one real quick while I'm on here. But yeah, that's definitely a good one. Sip Shop is like 500. Okay. So let's say Sip Shop 500, and I think is it like 2 days or 3 days or something like that? I think it's like 2 days. But you're guaranteed the traffic. So you can sit there and buy the $100 event that you don't know if you're going to get. It's 2 days. So it's $250 a day. If you in something that big, if you can't make at least $250 a day, then we need to talk about something else. There's other things that we need to get to if you can't make $250 a day. And just pick one further out. You don't have to do the Sip Shop tomorrow. Say you want to do a Sip Shop in December. You want to do a Sip Shop in November. You have a lot of time. Let's put the funds together, put it up, and start prepping for that. So that's another thing I do. Instead of chasing the smaller markets, I focus on the ones that I know are going to be successful. I think the lowest amount of money I've ever made at any market ever. It is actually funny. I made the lowest amount ever, but I actually found a really amazing resource that day because I switched gears to what I was doing because I was like, this market isn't for me. I ended up almost at a flea market. It's basically a flea market, but I had a luxury brand. I say had a luxury brand because I shied away from being a luxury brand. But I had my boxes, my gold lettering, my display was just immaculate. People were like, "Oh, what store are you from?" It was in the wrong demographics. But anyways, that particular market, I think I made 370 or not 300, I mean $670. It's like $678 almost to be exact, because it was the least I've ever made at a market because it just wasn't my demographic. People were there for thrifting. They didn't want if I sold my like old wine bottle, if I sold my old wine bottle candles or something else, I probably would have done amazing. And the reason I'm able to make so much at these markets is one, I'll tell you guys a trick that I do. I never sell one of anything, or at least I don't start. I never offer one of anything. Let's reframe that. I never offer one of anything. If somebody asks me how much this right here is, this incense, I'm going to say, let's say the pack, right? I'm going to say you get 2 packs for $15. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say you get 2 for 20. Because 9 times out of 10, they're not going to ask you how much one is. They're just going to say, okay, I'll take the 2. Every now and then, they're going to ask you what the one is. And then you make it so that it's a good price. So I'm like, oh, it's 2 for 20. Well, how much is 115? They're going to buy the 2 for 20. When you're out there, you are making sure that you have prices and you have specials. I almost very rarely have the same prices online that I did in person because I need a better way to have a low risk, low barrier to entry for people trying my products because a lot of those people are new. I'm blessed now that I get a lot of returning customers almost wherever I'm at now. I'll pop up and somebody like, oh my God, I was looking for you. I'm like, I have a website, right? Yeah, I follow you on Instagram. Okay, then I have no sympathy for you. You know where to find me, right? If the market has a website, look at when they close submissions and if they have a wait list. But you also want to look at their traffic. Yep. You also want to look at their traffic. You want to look at that. And you want to talk to them. Most like legit companies who are doing vendor markets, they have the data that they can provide to you what their past markets have brought in, the number of people that have showed up over the days. They have this information and you can just ask, find whoever, and that gives you a way to build the relationship with the people that actually work it. So where I'm at, the farmers market that I did last year, I did it like half the summer. I think I did it the year before that, half the summer, because once it started dying down, I was like, y'all, I'm out of here. I'm not sitting around. I don't do this. This is not my game. But they emailed me before they even offered it to anybody else. And they're pretty much full right now, but I emailed them last week because I have an intern now who she wants to experience the market. I was like, okay, well, let me email. They're like, we're kind of full, but Jasmine, we'll see what we can do for you. Because I've developed a relationship with them over time. That developing these relationships and finding ways to find out who's in charge and who makes the decisions, going up to wherever it's at and turning in your application, asking questions. Come up with questions. Make sure that you stay in the forefront of their mind. A lot of times telling the story of why you're doing what you're doing. The stories are what helps connect people. It's finding a way to stand out. You have to find your way. And sometimes it's as simple as asking a question. It's as simple as, oh my gosh, this event looks so great. I would love to know more information. Like, how long have you guys been doing this? Why did it start? Start with those questions instead of, I want to see if this is good enough for me. How many people came? Ask the questions of, man, what made you guys start this? What type of people do you normally see come through? Like the vendor market that I just told you guys about, at the end of every day, you have to provide them a sales sheet, a little slip of how many sales that you made. And that lets them know, because they want to make sure that the vendors are actually doing well. They're actually doing well. Any other questions? I love how intently you guys are listening. It's really interesting. I haven't gone live quite a bit in a really long time. And it's always kind of been like this, is where I'll give a lot of information and people are just listening. But then also live stream is kind of talking to yourself, because it can be weird sometimes. It can be really weird. Just talking to myself in hopes that somebody asks me another question with that. On a scale of 1 to 10, do this for me. It looks like there's 20 people in here. 1, if you have not given me a thumbs up, go ahead and do that. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. I am very random. I do not have a set schedule, but I promise you when I come on, it will be worth it. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being, oh my God, this is amazing. Do another one. Was this helpful to you guys? And is there anything else you want to hear about? What would you like me to talk about? Because I know in my head what I want to talk about. I know what I see people are having trouble with or struggling with, but hearing directly from you guys what you want to learn more about, that would be a help as well. I really think the next thing I want to do is probably break down the 4 or the 5 different things we talked about in this video. Talk about websites, talk about the social media, and building that out so it works for you. SEO, just bringing all it together. Email list. Now that you have this list of names, how you actually utilize that email list. Do you plan on opening my candle business again? I do. Yeah, I definitely do plan on opening it up. It's going to be structured a bit different. I can't remember if I went deep into the story on the last YouTube, but when I started Black Sunflower as the candle business, I started out of survival. I started because I needed money. And it was never really my full vision and dream. And it's something that I've just kept alive for the sake of keeping it alive. And it's always done really well. Like, that's why I've never been like, oh, I'm just going to close it. But in order for me to continue to grow the collective and build it into what I know it can be, I can't have my attention split anymore. Somebody has to take a little seat. You sit there, a little time out. We're just going to change kind of structure just a little bit when we go. Yes, very helpful. Thank you so much. You are very welcome. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you for stepping out and doing work. It sounds like a lot of the people that are in here, at least who are commenting, they're putting in the work, they're doing the things, you're trying to make things happen. So I invite you guys to join the collective. Like, it's an amazing community. It's grown to something that I never thought possible. Like you guys, I just said I'm closing my candle business to focus on my business collective. That says a lot, because even though it was never my full dream, that has been my sole source of income since 2020. The candle, well, I want to say just that, because the collective has definitely supported me. But the candle business is what got me here. And for me to have to say, we're just going to pause you for a while, something big is happening. I get excited when I can catch a live because you get good info. You're very, very welcome. Very welcome. I'm trying to be more consistent with the lives. It can be hard, you guys. I'm actually a very private person, very private. It's hard for me to, because social media, it's share your life and just show people all the things that you're doing. It I never want to come off as, well, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. The upflip video that a lot of you may have found me at, I was terrified to do that video. Terrified. I was terrified to do that video because that was the first time I ever shared any of my financials with anybody. When I cleared 6 figures, it was 6 months in, I celebrated by myself because I was too, I would say, embarrassed to share, but I didn't know how to share without assuming people would think that I am gloating or bragging. I was proud of myself, but also I had a different group of friends at that time, and I didn't know how it would be perceived. But I'll let you know this: a lot of the people who were my friends in that time period, I don't have them as friends anymore. Very interesting. That's a whole nother conversation. Um, Not the free version. How much is the paid version? So the paid version, there's two different avenues of it. We have the boot camp. I honestly suggest everyone starts with the boot camp because it helps you set a solid foundation. It also helps you understand, if do you even really want to be a part of the collective? Do you want to be a member? I developed that because I don't want to just dump people into the full-on membership. There's a lot that comes with it. A lot that comes with it. The boot camp will help you set your foundation. That's $249, and then the full membership is $599 enrollment and $99 a month. But that $599 actually includes we build your whole website, and that's the sale price. We're still in beta. If you book a consultation, I can go over everything because it's a lot of stuff. I actually took all the pricing off the website, and I just say book a consultation because I realized no matter what I put on the website, it just doesn't convey at all. So my consultations are me just really hearing where you're at in your business, and I'm just going to point you in the right direction because I'm not here to, let me just sell you this membership because that's what I'm selling when it's not for you, because you will fail. You will fail. And I'm not here to have people fail. I'm here to push people in the right direction. There might be somebody that actually, I told one person yesterday that I don't even want to put you in the boot camp yet. I need you to go download this form first and work on this. And that was also more of me seeing if they're serious, because the way they were talking to me, it felt like starting a business was just like a fly by night type thing. Like they just came up with the idea and, oh, I just want to start a business and I'm not too sure. And I don't know. It's a whole lot of I don't knows. So I was like, I don't know if you belong in any of these. I want to see you do this and turn it in, and then we'll see if you can be a part of the other things, because it takes a lot of time and energy for not just me, but my team. I have a team of 15 virtual assistants in the Philippines, from everything from my web development department, social media management, but also VAs. They do VA services for people in the collective. But then also they're business success managers. So everyone that is in the collective as a member, they get assigned a manager to make sure you're actually finishing your courses, that you know where to find stuff, that you know where to go on your dashboard and do things. You know who to reach out to, which partner to reach out to. If you have a question on finance, you can reach out to our partner Adriana, who focuses on bookkeeping and teaching you to actually price your products. You can My whole thing is with building the collective. I make a joke. It's like building an Airbus, one of the biggest airplanes, right? I'm building the Airbus. I'm also flying the Airbus at the same time. And all you guys are sitting in the airplane asking for, can I have some ginger ale? Can I have some tea? Where are my pretzels? Where are my Biscoff cookies? And it's like all of that is going on at the same time. And it can be very hard and taxing sometimes. But every time I get on calls and I hear how much people are changing, and people that have been a part of the collective for a while, who I'm like, this is not the same person that's joined. I was like, okay, I'll keep putting this Airbus together while y'all are asking me for peanuts and cookies and crackers and stuff. So it's really great. So I hope that answered your question, Jerry, but you're also welcome to schedule a consultation. It's a no pressure consultation. Yes, I am a saleswoman. I'm a saleswoman at heart, but I am here to help you find the right direction no matter what. I had a lady actually last night that I met with who she was gung ho ready to go. Like she's like, I want to sign up now. And I actually said, let's just hold on a second. All right. Because once again, hearing her, she told me she wanted to make candles. That's what she said. But everything else she was saying wasn't really saying that. And so today she said, Jasmine, I think I just want to hold for right now. I'll do the boot camp, but I don't want to do the full membership because she seemed like she was ready for the full membership. And I was like, okay, cool. We'll just do the boot camp. And because she said, I'm not sure of my exact vision now after our conversation. And I said, cool. That means I did my job. If you're now questioning what you want to do, I did my job because I have so many people come in, especially doing all the research on Google and YouTube and oh my gosh, candle making looks so amazing. You can make all this money. I want to do it too. But is that what you really want to do? In the collective, we have a foundations course that I'm building out. Excuse me, all that water finally got to me. I have a foundations course that I'm building out. And in that foundations course, think of each foundation as a degree. I believe there are 7 different foundations that you need to build any business. And this has taken a long time for me to put together this framework. And the beauty about a framework, it can be utilized in any form of business. And frameworks are usually pretty timeless. Business in my mind is a science. And so I've created that science. I've had multiple businesses over the years. I've used the same structures and tactics all over these years. I've been pretty successful in all of my businesses. And the first foundation is strategy. What's your strategy? What are you doing? Why are you doing it? And who are you doing it for? Each foundation has about 5 to 10 courses, and each course is about 5 to 10 lessons. When I'm finished with this course, any question that you have about business will be in there. I'm a little bit petty. It's more like, y'all are going to stop asking me all these questions. I'm going to say foundation 2, course 3, lesson 5. Your answer is right there, right? That's what I'm going to start saying, but I got to build it out first. So the first one is strategy. Second one is what's your offer in sales? What are you offering? How are you offering it? And why do they even care? Because what problem are you solving? Third one, we have strategy, we have offers, and we have branding. Branding is not just your logo. It's not just whatever color palette you have. Your branding is how you make people feel. Your brand is how you make people feel. Have you thought about that? It's how you make people feel. Think about Nike, think about Apple. Every time you hear a name, and it depends on even the experience you had with them, how they make you feel. Then we have branding. So, how does it look? Now, how do you present that to the world? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Number 3 was actually structure. I lied. Number 3 was structure. And this is where I go really different. We don't talk about LLCs or anything like that until lesson 3. Because until you have a strategy in place, until you know what you're selling, then you go out and get the business licenses and things like that. People have been teaching business the same for years, and it's not right. It's not right anymore because a lot of people are starting businesses. We have teachers, we have nurses, we have people in other blue collar industries. We have plumbers, things like that. People starting businesses who are not don't have a sales background or who are not used to it. I'm gonna answer your question, but I know myself and I'm gonna get off track if I don't finish. Okay, but I'm gonna come back to it. So structure is three. Then we have branding. Then we have marketing. Then we have digital infrastructure, which is setting up all of your digital infrastructure, your SOP, not your SOPs, your SEO, automations using AI. These are the things that are going to help you free up more time in your business. Because my goal is to make sure that you don't suffer like I did. I was doing all the things. I didn't need to do all the things. But in my mind, I was the only one who could do it. Delusional as all hell because now I have an amazing team. But anyways, I digress. And the last and final one, number 7, is scale. And scaling isn't about getting bigger and taking up more space. Scaling is growing vertically. That's what scaling is, growing vertically. How do I generate more revenue with what I have? Something might be wholesale. It'll be, like I said, the strategic partnerships. Maybe it's another type of bulk orders. Maybe there's so many different ways that you can scale. Reoccurring models, reoccurring subscription models. Those are different ways that you can scale your business. So after we have the structure, we know our offer. We I'm not no, we have a strategy. We know our offer. We build out the structure. Structure also is not just your LLCs and your was it LLCs and your business license, right? Or your business plan. I barely even talk about a business plan. You guys, I did not have a business plan for Black Sunflower until I needed it for like it was a pitch. I needed to do a pitch. And I think I was a good 2 years, 2.5 years in before I even made a business plan. That's how unnecessary it really is because we get so laser focused on that. But what it is building structure within your business and being organized. Not the most organized person. And I realize how much time I waste always searching for something, searching for a password, searching for a form of some sort. We don't want that. We don't want that. Then we said branding, marketing, digital infrastructure, and scaling. So those are the 7 foundations that are within the collective that are built upon. And we continue to build upon those within the collective. We have, I mean, there's just a lot of stuff. It's a lot. It's a lot, you guys. I've been following since I saw your upload video, which was right after I started my business. Yes, that upload video has done wonders. I'm so thankful for that. And I'm glad that I did it scared. That's the big one. I'm glad I did it scared because I was terrified and I waited a week before I watched the video, but I waited a week before I read the comments because I was like, oh my God, they're just going to get on me in those comments. Oh my gosh, they're going to rip me to shreds. That's all I could think about. And on those days when like life gets hard or I'm like, oh, why am I doing this? I'm so tired. Or is it really worth it? I go look in those videos. Those videos have made, or look at the comments under that video. Those comments have made me cry plenty of times to know that I really am making a difference and understanding what my purpose is. That's why it's so easy for me to just put the candles to the side and say, I'm going to focus on what my goal and my purpose is right now. My goal and my purpose is to get this collective fully off the ground so I can reach the people who need the help. Like that's what it's for. And it's really interesting that I'm at peace with it. I thought about it for a very long time. Like, do I keep it up or do I keep it up and just not put as much inventory on the website? No, regardless, I'm still going to, people are going to expect the inventory, right? So instead of me halting production and having people wonder why I'm always sold out of everything, I'd rather just say I'm closing. I don't want to just play this game of staying open to show face. And because some people, when they think, oh, business is closing, they're like, oh, well, see, businesses can't stay afloat or how. This is one that I thought they're gonna be like, how is she closing her business, but then teaching other people to run a business? Black Sunflower is fine. Black Sunflower is beyond fine. It's just too much to do. And that's part of the reason I'm closing it because it is doing very well and I can't continue to give it that energy because it takes time. It takes resources. I want to put all my resources into the same thing. Thank you so much for listening, you guys. We have a decent amount of people in here and I love it. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you give me some little likeys so that more people know. And also share. If you know somebody that could use this information, I am definitely editing this video. I'm gonna keep up this recording for a while, but I'm gonna have this video edited so we can take out this particular section and like timestamp it. I don't even know what should we call this video? Because this is gonna be a whole new video now. Give me some good names. What should we call this video? What would cause you to click on this video? It's almost like it's like a fireside chat. I could almost like this one we could get it drowned. I cut it too low. Maybe if I have to move all the wax around. I always do a candle surgery. So this candle, there's a YouTube video in here somewhere where I made it. I think it's 100. I forgot how many ounces it is. It's a decent amount of ounces, like 200 and something ounces. Pam, go to bed. Go to bed. Yes, you did miss it. Pam is not only a member of the collective, Pam is the ringleader of the Troublemaker Club now. As an amazing group of women in there who have honestly created their own community within the community. And they help each other out, and Pam helps hold people accountable within the group. So yeah, that's a really good one. And Pam, you didn't miss anything because I'm gonna see you in a little bit. I'm gonna see you in a few hours. You and everybody else. We're gonna be. I literally have seen you guys every single day this week, just about. It feels like because the boot camp is so crazy. Today I was making dinner and we were doing a Q&A session. I'm just making dinner. I was like, we gotta make it happen. Gotta make it happen. So yeah, any other questions that you guys may have? The name you have posted is fine. That's what got my attention. Okay. Well, I'm gonna split it up. So I'm gonna split it up because we kind of started talking about a whole bunch of other stuff within this part of the video. I'm gonna keep the first half where I was actually going over this stuff. I'm gonna keep that one, but this one is like a fireside chat. Like we're just chilling, we're just hanging out. I don't like doing things like everyone else. I keep seeing everyone. I mean, I'm gonna get a new plant because this plant is good, but it be looking all sick and stuff. I need to get one of my fluffy plants that are more full over here. I have a tree. I have a whole tree. It's a ficus tree, but she'd be too big over here. I might even like paint this wall or something, or I'm gonna turn this into my little corner because I'm loving this little corner here. I love this chair. I got a little footstool. I don't need to have the setups like everyone else. I don't need to have those setups. I like this setup that we have right here. It's like I'm just chilling on the couch. I need to have a little drink, just hanging with my friends. That's what it feels like. We're just hanging out. Just hanging out. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you guys a question. This is a good one. What is one thing that you feel is preventing you from taking the next step in your business? Whatever that next step is going to be, or what you have in your mind, or what's something that you've been thinking about for a long time. It looks good on you, sis. The vibe corner. Ooh, I like it. It's the vibe corner. But these two colors gotta go. We gotta fix it up just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah. What's one thing that's preventing you from getting to the next step? Whatever that's going to be. I'll share mine. I'm gonna share mine. I'm gonna start. So mine's would be, and it's something I've been working on for a long time. Why I call it close the candle business. Focus. Focus has been preventing me from getting to the next step for a very long time. I don't know if you guys, I'm not flipping you guys off, but I don't know if you guys ever realized I have a tattoo of focus. It looks really bad right now. This needs to be redone. Finger tattoos don't last, but I like it because it looks like a struggle. Looks like I've gone through life. I've had some hard times, but I've had such a hard time focusing that I got the word focus tattooed on me. And focus has been a struggle because as a creative, I have so many ideas. I want to do so many things. I want to do all the things. And it sucks that I'm actually kind of good at a lot of things. But that's where I fail to listen. Just because I'm good at it doesn't mean I need to do it. And because I'm good at it doesn't mean I'm doing it great, because I'm doing everything. I'm doing all the things. And that's not what I want. My reasons for starting my candle business, I have grown and evolved since I started. You've grown. What are some ways that you've felt that you've grown and evolved? Share that, because maybe there's somebody else in here that maybe feels the same way or has gone through some of those things. Stories bring us together. Funding, you guys. Yes, funding is an interesting one. And the reason I say funding is an interesting one, because earlier when I say that they teach business differently than I think should be taught, is even a lot of these technical assistance programs. We actually had this conversation the other day in one of our Q&A sessions with Pam, that they provide these resources, but within these resources, they also give you a lot of information to go and get funding. They like drill it in our heads. We know why, right? Because that's where they make the money. These technical assistant companies, you think they're not getting kickbacks from forcing you or putting it on you. Hey, you can get funding from all these places. But I'm going to tell you, especially a candle business, you don't need as much funding as you think. I am the example of that. And I honestly believe me getting access to that funding was a detriment to me. Rather, it did not help me. And I'm going to explain it a little deeper. When I started Black Sunflower, or when I launched my website, I had $500 in my bank account. The pandemic had started. I couldn't go to work because I had to come up, stay home and watch my son, and rent was due in a few days. I know that specifically because I remember saying, okay, I'm going to launch this website, because I had like candles that I had practiced with that I was selling. And I had some good candles there too. Good at that time. Now I wouldn't call them good. And I just did it. And then I continued to just build my website off of pre-sales. And I was able to do pre-sales because I had a website that looked good. I looked like a big brand when I started, and it was just me in this little 2-bedroom apartment with my son. That's all it was. And so every time I got money from my business, I would invest that money back in. I would do another pre-sale. And so I'm going to give you a really nice example. Let's say you sell your candles for even $25. Okay. And we have Candle Science. I'm going to use a box of wax for me is $103. Let's say we're just going to say $150 for even numbers, right? You need your jars, you need your wicks. Okay. If you sell your candles for $25, you sell 4 candles, that's $100 right there. You're almost there to your wax. You sell 8 candles, that's $200. Now you have your wax and you have your jars now, right? Right. So you sell 12 candles, a case of candles, you sell 12 candles. You have your wax, and more wax than just for one set of 12. You have your wax, you have your wicks, because wicks are dirt cheap. You can get the small pack, right? Got the wicks. You have your fragrance, even if you got 16 ounces. What is it? And then let's say you get a basic, the labels from Avery and print them off, right? Make sure they're quality. So you just sold 12 candles, and then you were able to turn around and get the product to make how many more candles? So we did $25 a pop, for 8, 12. What did I say? 1, 2, that's $300. It's $300. Think about that. You could, but the problem lies in we want to do all the things. Just start one thing at a time. So now you're reaching back out to those people who brought those 12 candles. You're nurturing them. Oh, you know what? I brought a different scent. Hey guys, thank you so much for all your support. I'm just starting the business. Now we're launching a new scent. And because you supported me before, here's 20% off your next order. They're probably going to order if they liked your candles, right? And now they might order, or you can even 25% off with the purchase of another candle or a BOGO or whatever, right? Now they're purchasing the previous candle and the other candle. You've upped your price per sale. What was it? I can't even think right now. Your price per sale. That's not the technical jargon of it. I can't think. Now they're spending more money. So now instead of when you sell 12, you're not selling 12 candles, maybe now you're selling 24 candles, right? Now that's $600 that you just made. What can you do with that $600 that you reinvest back into your business? Now, this time I'm not going to tell you to buy another fragrance. Probably not. Well, I'll probably tell you to do buy a couple more vessels. Now go ahead and buy a bigger thing of wicks and another thing of wax now, because now you're stocking up on wax. Because if you don't have wax, you really can't, because that's one of the most expensive parts of what you're getting is the wax. And you just keep doing that. Then you go for the pre-sales. Like I said, you continue going for those pre-sales, because once you show that you prove to people that you can deliver on pre-sales, they will continue to pre-sell from you. They will continue to pre-order from you. And you will get that money before you've even made the product. 99% of the time when I do a pre-order, I haven't even ordered the product yet. So be careful about this during Christmas time, though, because people like to sell out of stuff, right? Does that help? That was a long-winded version of it, but I feel it was a good example for you to understand that you don't really need the funding. You need the funding to create the image that you have in your head. But what's the point of getting funding when you don't have the customers? Get the customers first. And then even still then, don't get the funding. If I told you guys the amount of loans that I took out, you see all the money that I made, but I took out so much money because I was trying to keep up with customers instead of allowing customers to keep up with me. I wish I would have kept my same pre-sale model going all the time. My company would have had so much profit, it's not even funny. But instead, I was paying back loans. I paid off a lot of loans. I'm still paying on some loans. And I'm about to close the business and I'm still paying on some of those loans. The first 2 years, I was paying off the loans like that. And we think that the money's always going to come that quick. And it's not. So, all right. I'm going to skip to the next one. It is weathered the storm with you, sis. Yes. I think you remember what you're talking about. Procrastination. Ooh, procrastination. I call it plancrastination. You're planning and you're procrastinating at the same time. You like to tell people that you're planning for stuff, but you're really just procrastinating. Procrastinating is usually disguised a fear of failure. It's disguised as fear of failure because we don't want to be judged. But you have to do things scared. And that's the only way you're going to get clarity. You have to make things happen. I did a video just, I think it was 2 days ago about that. You need to get stuff done. You need to do it in order to actually get over that fear of failure. There's the other side of procrastination, which what I have severe ADHD. You guys, I procrastinate because since the beginning of time, if I do stuff last minute, I just get it done. And it's just ingrained in my head. I'll just do it last minute. It's like living life on the wild side. And I keep telling myself, I don't want to live on this wild side. Can I just get it done early? Right? Organization of time. That means it sounds like you need to get back in that Achieve More playbook, Pam. Organization of time is a really big one. That actually ties into with the procrastination. When I was following my Achieve More playbook to the T, I didn't procrastinate. It actually got to the point where I sit down at my desk and I didn't know what to do next because I was like, I did everything I was supposed to do. All right, I guess I'm on to the next thing. Right? I pay for everything out of pocket. Okay. Paying for everything out of pocket, great. I also want you to make sure that you are pricing for profit. We're saying just like pricing for profit. I want to make sure. Oh, you weren't saying that for me. Or for you. Got it. Organization of time, just in people in general. I got it. Yeah, because I was going to say, I don't know, Pam, you seem to be getting stuff done. But if you say organization of time was for you, who am I to argue with you? Make sure that you're pricing your products right. Make sure that you're actually factoring in. These are some of the things that I didn't really factor in, but even the electricity, the water, all the things that you're using when you're making products. Adriana, one of our founding partners, she's does our bookkeeping and finances. So if you have questions about that and making sure you're headed in the right direction, getting your QuickBooks set up, things like that, that's what Adriana does. In the free version, if you just join the community, she has a pricing for profit worksheet in there. It's her, Dominique, and Nick. They all have a video up there and some free items as well. But definitely talk to her. Or not even, I mean, if you're in the boot camp, she offers 15-minute consultations. And sometimes when you're in the collective, she posts them as well. So keep a look out for that as well. I've been doing some test candles and researching. I'm planning to be selling by August. Nervous though. You know what? You got it. I'm asking you some key questions. Do you already have a email list? Do you already have a website? And I would love to hear your answer. And as I'm waiting to hear back from you, I ask those things is because if you're planning to launch by August, you should make sure that you have customers lined up ready to buy when August rolls around. I see it time and time again, where we pour all of this work into everything else around our candle business except for acquiring customers before we're ready. Because everyone says, well, I'm not ready. Okay, well, I'm sorry. When I finally get launched, I need my candle business to start paying for all this money I invested in it. Like right now, not yesterday, right now. That's what I need to start paying for me. And you need those wins. There's nothing more defeating than putting all this work in to launch your website, to getting the first initial sales, which is going to be like the friends, the family, the close coworkers, maybe a few neighbors, but they're not going to sustain your business because you're going to get excited because you're going to see all these sales come in, and then it's going to go silent. It's going to go silent because you haven't established that customer base right now. Everyone that you're talking to about your business in this moment, should be joining your email list. That's what they should be doing. They should be joining your email list. So when you launch, you have somebody to actually want to buy your products. At the first time when I first started my business, I had just turned 46. I was looking for something more. And was like, how many people are like me? Can you I obviously you commented that when I was on to something else. I apologize. Can you remind me what that was in reference to? So I can comment appropriately. The night is getting late. I actually have work I need to still do really quickly. So I'm going to actually get off, you guys. I just realized what time it was. We have boot camp in the morning, so I have to make sure I'm fresh and ready for that as well. I'm going to put the link in the chat here. If you're watching the replay, it'll be in the description below. And there's a chance it might actually just take you to our website right now. The applications for the collective membership are currently on hold, but I am doing consultations and putting people in at where they need to be as appropriate. Like I said, I may even tell you the collective's not for you right now, and I have some work for you to do before that. Don't know, but if you have any questions that you need help with, if you need help refining your strategy, that's what my main focus in the collective is helping people identify what they want to do, why they want to do it. Right? Is this really your vision? Is this really what you want to do before you go spending any more money? And then also on top of that, now that you have decided this is what I want to do you have the right business model? Because the right business or not having the right business model can set you back tremendously. So we want to make sure that you have a way to reach your customers. We want to make sure that you have a way to communicate with your customers. We want to know that you actually know how to talk to your customers and what problem you're solving for them. How are you going to go about it, move forward? What are your next steps? How are you going to guide yourself through building this business? And that's what I'm here for. And kind of uncovering other ways of generating revenue. How can you create multiple streams of income without you doing more? Remember, we want to scale vertically, not horizontally. We don't want to take up more space. We want to build our money higher. All right. So with that being said, I think I'm going to call it a night. You're very welcome. I think I'm going to do it again. And okay, you guys, and I'm going to do something cheesy. This is the first one, and we're going to make it a thing. So since I'm leaving, you guys think I should blow out the candles? I think that should be a thing. Like when it's time for us to go, I think I should just blow out the candles and tell you guys good night. And I think that's cool. There's a slight delay, so I'm gonna wait to hear back from you guys first before I do that. I think that'll be cute because I was just about to get up and blow them out. And no, I think that's how we close out these chats. And I think this is what we're gonna do. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you give me some likes. Also, make sure that you share this out if this was informative to anybody. Come to the community inside the collective, see what we have going on in there, see if you want to be a part of it, right? Sign up for the consultation. And if you're watching a replay a few months from now, I'm sorry. More than likely that link is going to be MIA because I really don't do consultations that much anymore because I have an amazing team that actually does them. I have an amazing team that does them. And I want to make sure that I am out there serving and being able to do more of this as well. All right. Okay, that's what we're going to do. All right. So I'm going to sign out. So once again, my name is Jasmine, and I want to thank you guys so much for spending this evening with me, learning, sharing, and just figuring out how we can become better at what we're doing. I challenge you this week to do one thing, just one, that'll get you closer to not depending on vendor markets, to not procrastinate, to manage your time, right? And I want you to make sure that you remember that you are exactly where you need to be in this journey right here, right now. It doesn't matter what anyone else is doing, what anyone else thinks. This is about you. This is about your journey and where you want to go. I have grown and evolved since I started. Yes, you have. You have. So, with that, we're going to call it a night. And I get to blow out the candles. It feels so cheesy. Watch me blow it out wrong, right? Good night, guys.